Hello, Steve here from fireboxstove.com. Hey, I have a couple of new items that I wanted to show you for horizontal baking in the zebra loop handled pots. And then I also wanted to share a few things that I've learned about horizontal baking that I think will help those of you who are giving it a try. So let me show you what we've got. Okay, so I have received some reports back from people saying that their pots have become a little bit misshapen and they've become a little bit oval shaped. Now, the first time I got that report, I just assumed that, maybe it was, used over just a very, very hot fire and it was kind of an anomaly. But when I got the second report of this happening, I thought I should look into it a little bit more carefully, and I looked at my pot to see if my pot was starting to oval as well, and it was. And the way I checked it to see if it was ovaling is I just moved the lid side to side. So side to side this direction and then side to side this direction. And then just try to get a feel if it feels tighter one direction than the other. And mine did, but I was able to straighten it fairly easily by just flexing it like this. It does take quite a bit of pressure to straighten it out, but it is possible. So just know if you are getting some ovaling that you can straighten it. Just go ahead and adjust that accordingly. So a couple of things that I think will help to prevent that ovaling shape is, number one, it might help if you don't always use the same side as the bottom. So rotate your pot so that you're heating up a different part of your pot every time you bake. Now, the other thing that I think really helps is by having the rocks in the bottom of your pot. Now, you can kind of think of this, it's kind of like a frying pan on your stove top at home. So if you have your frying pan on your hot stove with no food in it, that frying pan's going to overheat and it's going to warp. Well, the rocks kind of do the same thing that the food does in the frying pan. It absorbs the heat from the metal and then it releases that heat into the air. So it kind of acts like a heat sink and it regulates the temperature of your material. So the more surface area that you cover with your rocks, the more that it will be able to absorb that heat out of the material to prevent it from overheating. Now, another way that you can prevent it from overheating is by using a thermometer. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and sourced a thermometer. You can see I have this hole here that I think will kind of work good as a ventilation for the pot and also as a strainer if you have some noodles or something and you want to strain off. But I've sourced this thermometer that you just drill a 3/8 inch hole into the lid of your pot, and then this just has a knurled nut that you just thread on, with your fingers until that's tight. And then that works as a great little thermometer. So this will help you to not heat up your oven any more than necessary. When I'm doing this, I like to keep the handle of my pot lid vertical. It's easier to grab with the tongs and easier to operate things. And so I thought this position would probably be the best. You can see I can still move my handle without it interfering. It's easy to see there. And then if you want to reverse it and actually put it in this lower position, you can get a readout of the lower section of your oven. So it's really a nice feature. I did bake with this, and I can't even tell you how nice it is to actually know what temperature it is inside of your oven without opening it up and looking and trying to get ideas, by how fast it's browning your food and whatnot. So that does work well. Another item that we will be adding to our website is what I'm calling the roof rack. So this is the same as my little prototypes that I just made out of coat hanger wire. But this one is actually made of the same spring-tempered stainless steel as what the pot clips are made out of. And so this will give you the nice support. You can put hot coals up here, and by putting some heat on the top of the pot means you'll have to heat the bottom of the pot that much less. So that will help prevent the overheating of your 16 or 14 centimeter pot that you're using for baking. So those are the two new items. They will be available on fireboxstove.com. Now I'm going to add my oven roof rack and then put these hot coals up on top. This will give us a little bit of heat on the top side of our oven. Oh yeah, those turned out really nice. Golden brown on top and beautiful golden brown on the bottom. I really appreciate you guys watching. I love the comments. I appreciate the likes and the shares. And if you haven't already subscribed and you like the content and you find it useful, please subscribe and you'll get some notifications of my future videos. So thank you everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.